Well, hi friends, welcome back. Mike here again, and I'm here with my March wrap-up after a very successful February read. In terms of quantity of books read in Feb, a few less read in March. I don't know why. I mean, I've been pretty busy. I've had lots of kind of social stuff going on, and I have been working, and I've been enjoying what I've been reading, but I just haven't actually physically read as much as I read in Feb. I don't know why. But without further ado, let's jump in, talk about what books I read in February. March. We're in March. Okay, so the first things first, I finished reading Alex Rider's Scorpia by Anthony Horowitz. I didn't have long to go when we came into March, and actually I quite enjoyed the end of this one. This seems to be a bit of a turning point in the series. Alex is sort of recruited into an organisation that's a criminal organisation called Scorpia, and he learns that this is where his father worked. And he doesn't know much about his past. There is a villain in this, and she's quite an interesting villain because she's a criminal boss. So she's not like the other villains that have been kind of stereotypically James Bondy, kind of big scar on the eye or big fluffy cat. This has been a bit different. She's a bit of a femme fatale in this, and he's attracted to her, and she kind of teases him. And the finale of the book was quite good, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It took Alex to quite an emotional place, which I think the books needed at this point, because we've had 4. I think this is number 5. This is number 5. So we've had 4 novels so far where it's been kind of not fun, but like for him, it's fun for me to read, but he has been through the mill a bit in terms of action, and he's done a lot of physical stuff and beat the bad guys. But in this one, there was a lot more emotional content, and I'm really glad of that. So I'm glad this has happened, this turning point in the series. You know, I've got another 6 or so books to go, and I will be reading them throughout the year, kind of almost every other book, but kind of 1 a month probably, because they're really nice, short, quick, easy reads, and kind of like watching a Mission Impossible film. So it's, it's pleasant, and actually I did really enjoy this. The finale was quite epic. Didn't feel as epic as the other ones, but then again, it was a bit more of an intimate story. There was a threat, a very dangerous threat at the end of this book, which I won't spoil, but it felt a bit more kind of terroristy, which is a little bit different to what the other books have done so far. They've been a bit more sort of immediate in their impact, and this was kind of a bit more, the threat was bubbling underneath, and it took Alex a bit more thought of what to do, and I think he's maturing, and yeah, the books, yeah, I enjoyed this, very good, liked it. The next thing I read, and I'm currently reading, and will be currently reading for a while, because look at the size of it. This is Daemon Voices by Philip Pullman, and it's a collection of essays, their talks he's done, their lectures. It's really interesting, actually. So I'll read what it's about for you, because I haven't done this for this book. In over 30 essays written over 20 years, one of the world's great storytellers meditates on storytelling. Warm, funny, generous, entertaining, and above all, deeply considered, they offer thought on a wide variety of topics, including the origin and composition of Philip Pullman's own stories, the craft of writing, and the storytellers who have meant the most to him. The art of storytelling is everywhere present in the essays themselves, in the instantly engaging tone, the vivid imagery and striking phrases, the resonant anecdotes, the humour, and the learnedness. Interesting word. Together they are great. They are greater than the sum of their parts, a single sustained engagement with story and storytelling. So this is really interesting to me as a reader, as a writer, as a Philip Pullman fan. I was very intrigued by this, and very happy I bought it. And it's going to be the first ever book of essays that I've ever read for pleasure. So this is interesting, turning point for me. But it's about writing and about stories, so it's fascinating. I've decided to read them in the order in which they've been placed in the book. There is a kind of a comprehensive contents page where you can go to a theme or just perhaps what mood you're in, but I've decided to ignore that because I feel like they've been placed in the book in this order for a reason. So I'm just going to go for it from the beginning, because I'm going to read it slowly. I'm going to read an essay here, an essay there, and it's nice to contemplate what goes into making a story, sometimes rather than just reading a story. So fascinating. The first one was called Magic Carpets, The Writer's Responsibilities, and that was very interesting. It's the various sorts of responsibilities incumbent on an author, to himself, to his family, to language, to his audience, to truth, and to the story itself. I really enjoyed that one. And the second one was the writing of stories, making it up and writing it down, on the choices an author has to make as he tells a story, with special reference to points of view, time frames and story patterns, using an example, the opening of Northern Lights and other parts of his Dark Materials. So it's interesting. I think that when you're in school and college and everything, and you write essays about books, I don't think very often you write an essay about a book that you enjoy, and it's fascinating to read essays about books that I enjoy. So yeah, thoroughly enjoying this and recommend it. It is a bit of a beast, but it's beautiful. And then the last book that I read this month, and just finished this afternoon actually, is Eleanor, Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. This book, it says in the front that it's somewhere that it's surprising. So Eleanor Oliphant leads a simple life. She wears the same clothes to work every day, eats the same meal for lunch every day, and buys the same 2 bottles of vodka to drink every weekend. Eleanor Oliphant is happy. Nothing is missing from her carefully timetabled existence, except sometimes everything. And I really liked it. I really liked it. It's about Eleanor, and she does have a bit of a lonely existence to the outside observer, and she doesn't think she's lonely, and that's what's fascinating. And it's very interesting how, through lots of small acts of kindness and lots of interactions that she has over the course of the book, how she starts to realise that actually something has been missing from her life, and I'll give you a clue, she isn't completely fine. Okay, this is sarcasm. It's a lovely book, and the first few chapters had me actually laughing out loud. There is a fantastic escapade in a salon where she goes to have a wax, and she doesn't know what wax she wants, and she's faced with all these options, and she chooses a Hollywood. Her reasoning for that was because if Hollywood, Eleanor would. I was creased, and the actual person, the girl performing the waxing, it was just hilarious. It read like something out of Bridget Jones or something. It was really funny, and I was laughing. And then it suddenly switches then to something very, very moving, disturbing, upsetting, and really sad. And there's a lot more to Eleanor than you first think. She's very socially awkward and very and that's quite funny sometimes, and then other times it's a bit kind of not sad, but you just feel for her, and the more you learn about her, the more you understand her, and it's a really good book. It's a really good book. It's surprising because it's not just another Bridget Jones. That's what I mean. The first chapters lull you into thinking it's just going to be another funny escapade of a 30-something lady looking for love, and it's not about that. It's a 30-something lady looking for herself. And that's what makes this book really strong for me. I really liked it, and it is deserving of the awards and accolades it's been given. So I'm looking forward to reading more of Gail as she writes more, because this is her debut novel and it's fab. I'm going to preach this to people that I see a lot, actually, because it moves into Eleanor ends up having to go to counselling, and there's a very dark point in this book, and it moved me. And so when she goes into counselling, yeah, it's a good old yarn, this one. I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend. So that's what I have read this month. What have you guys been reading this month? Any gems that I should know about that I need to get straight on my list? I should say I'm recording this just before the end of March. There's a couple of days left. It's Easter weekend, and I am working. Sad face. No, I've got Sunday off, and I plan to go to my mum and dad's for a turkey dinner, and then come home with an Easter egg and eat that Easter egg whilst watching films. So I haven't exactly got a strenuous day planned Easter Sunday, but it's going to be lovely. So there are a couple of days left of March, and I will be reading this. I've decided I'm going Crime at 9. I need a thriller now after that. This is Let Me Lie by Clare Mackintosh, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So obviously by the time March actually finishes, I will have read a few chapters of this. I'm going to read some now actually. But we'll talk about that in my next video. I hope everybody has a lovely Easter, and I hope you get a nice little bit of chocolate. I'm only having one this year. Jay and I decided not to buy them for each other. Mum is buying us Easter eggs, so that's going to be it. One Easter egg and done. How restrained is that? I've got restraint, who knew? And yeah, hope everyone has a nice Easter. Hope you all enjoyed March, and you read lots, and you've got lots of recommendations for me. And I will speak to you very, very soon. Okay, bye. Can we talk about my Green Bear t-shirt? We probably should. It's upstaged me this whole video, isn't it? Let's be honest. Because it's awesome.